Hello, everyone. Welcome to Esther Space. Thank you so much for keeping the appointment. Now, as you must have noticed already from our topic, today we are going to be talking about how life looks and feels within an orphanage. With an eyewitness experience of a young man who was not only in the orphanage at one point in his life, but someone that is still and currently living in an orphanage, even as a young adult. To better understand this topic, I'll start by telling you precisely what an orphanage is. And as stated by the Oxford Dictionary, an orphanage is a residential institution for the care and education of orphans. And an orphan simply means someone that has lost either one or two parents, and Dickson happens to be one of them. Today, we're going to have the single honor of receiving an orphan in real time on this platform. For Dickson Ndomenga to find himself on this platform today, he braved all the obstacles within a very crowded orphanage to come and share his experiences with us today on this platform, for which I am grateful. Stay tuned as I bring him in. Dickson, you are very welcome to Esther Space. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Mother. I'm doing very, very fine. Good afternoon to all viewers of Esther Space. I am very, very happy and honored to be with you today. I've longed for this day, even though I've had some challenges coming on. I would have been online before now, but thank God it has been possible for us to meet today.
To start, Dickson, I know that our viewers really want to know more about you, an eyewitness of someone living within an orphanage, someone that is an orphan, grew up in an orphan. I mean, just so much. Now, tell me, how did you find yourself in the orphanage?
Thank you very much, Mother. But that is a question when most people come across me now and then, they ask me, how come you are in the orphanage? How did you come to the orphanage? But I just want to give you a brief history. I am actually talking from the Good Shepherd Orphanage in Abango. Sorry, it might be very, very noisy because of the children around. And so I was able to get this little bit of a confined place to be with you this afternoon. I actually came to the Good Shepherd Orphanage in 2003. The home was created in 2003, and therefore we have been the pioneer children who started the home. And up to now, I am still in the home. Now, most of people, when they hear that you are in an orphanage, they become very, very interested in knowing how you came to that orphanage and why you came to that particular orphanage. But I just want to let the viewers of Esther Space know this afternoon that every child's story is unique in an orphanage. That child has various circumstances in which he or she went through before coming to an orphanage. I am talking today, so I would like to talk on my own.
That's so right.
I actually, I'm from the southwest, though, from the southwest, Mock Village, from the southwest. But but today I'm in the Good Shepherd Orphanage. I came to the Good Shepherd Orphanage in 2003 through somebody who knew of the orphanage as it just started in 2003 and knew me back then in the village because I was living with my grandmother. And living with my grandmother then, it was very, very difficult. Life was not easy for me. I mean, by then, I could not even go to school because even though the fee was 2,000 francs or 1,500 francs, my grandmother was unable to afford that. And therefore, he saw it like an opportunity to bring me so that I can also benefit from this kind gesture of our mother, Mama Jane Manka. Sorry, but he who brought me to this home, Mr. Samuel, he so rest in peace. He is of late too. He died sometimes back in 2008. So at least he brought me to the home and he brought me to a bigger family.
Wonderful.
Yes.
You see, I would like to take you back to something that you mentioned, that you are from the Southwest province and that you were living with your grandmother when Mr. Sam took you to a Good Shepherd orphanage when it was just created in 2003.
Yes.
Now, may I ask why you were living with your grandmother? Was there any reason? What about mom?
Yes, I was living with my grandmother then because my parents were all of late, even though I didn't know them. I didn't know them because they told me that they died when I was still very young to even understand anything.
Right.
So it was from then that I grew up. From when I was born to then, I thought my grandmother was actually my mother too.
Wonderful. So all along, as you were growing up, you never knew who your parents actually were because they actually passed away when you were still a baby.
Yes.
So you've been in this place since 2003, Dickson. And before I move on to the next point, may I know if your grandmother is still alive?
Yes, my grandmother is still alive, and Mama Jane always made provision for us during the dead holidays that we are not actually going to school. We go and spend at least a 2 week or three with the family before we come back. But since the crisis began, something like that, we have never been able to, since that side is very dangerous.
How do you find life in the orphanage all these years?
Thank you very much for the nice question, Mom. But you know, one thing I must let the viewers of Esther Space know is when you are, it is from outside that they call my home an orphanage. Within our home, we don't know it as an orphanage, but we know it as a big family that we have our younger ones, we have our elder ones who take care of us, whom if we need any advice, if we need something for them to help us with anything, we can always move to them. So from outside, they know it as an orphanage, but from within, we don't call it an orphanage. We call it a big family that we are.
It is nothing but a home, a big
Yes,
family.
yes.
Interesting. Now that you are a young adult, you went there as a little boy. Now you are a young adult and you have just so much relationship with the younger ones in your home. I have watched videos of you taking care of these children, at one point like a babysitter, at another point like a parent. And it's just confusing seeing the role that you play in there. I want you to talk to me about your relationship with those children, especially the younger ones.
Thank you very much, Mom. You know, in a home where you know that if a child is hungry, that child can always come to you to say, Brother Dickson, please, I'm hungry. I need something to eat. In a home where you know that maybe even when they go to the home school or to school, they come back and they ask a pen from you. You become a natural parent to those kids. which means at that you remember, you recall, because you were once at that level. You were once home at that level when you didn't have elder ones to whom you could turn to. You put yourself in the shoes of those children. You say, when you were there, nobody was there to maybe do some of these things. And now that you are already grown up, you are an adult, you have nothing to do but to do your best, so that some days when you are not around, those children will be able to grow up and then take care of other junior ones. That is just how we do it at the home here. If you come, like the home, you come very early in the morning, the other ones are cleaning the younger ones. At night before they sleep, they take them, they sleep with them on the bed. I have children who come to sleep with me on my bed. So we are a big family, just like I've said from the beginning, and we will always be a big family.
That is touching, Dickson. About how many children do you guys have in that orphanage?
Yes, we have a total of 136 children. I'll be happy to share with the viewers of Esther Space that actually the home expanded. We had an annex of this home in Batibo, which, because of the crisis, were unable to remain there in Batibo. So most of the children, all of the children who were over there in Batibo came over to Abango. So the 136 children I am talking of are actually children who are resident here in Abango, and not that those are the total number of children Mama Jane takes care of. We take care, she takes care of the whole lot. The whole lot.
Magical. I want you to tell me about the legend, Sister Jane Manka. Someone I never met before, but today, as we talk, she's no more. And I feel the pain because I never had a chance to meet with her. But I talked with her deeply. Today, she's not here. And you are one person that she talked to me about relentlessly all the time I spoke with her. She did everything to make sure that you stood on your feet so that you could be able to help the others. She passed away, unfortunately. But I want us to talk about her, because if you are who you are today, I'm sure that you definitely have a story to tell about.
I'm happy to share with the viewers of Esther Space whom she was to us. You know, most at times, we rarely call her Sister Jane. We call her Mama.
Mama.
She was our mother. On a personal perspective, she is the only woman I've known to be the mother all through my life. She has been an inspiration to me, a teacher, motivation. From the time I stepped my feet at the Good Shepherd Orphanage, she has made me whom I am today. Let me share a little story of mine with Esther Space viewers. I actually, growing up, I wasn't so much of a good boy. You know, I was always stubborn like all other children will be stubborn. I didn't take my studies serious. But there came a point in my life where I consider it a turning point. I always even explain to Mama, because she will at one point call me, Dickson, come. What happened to you that you are who you are today? I mean, that small stubborn boy that you used to be. I recall a lot. She was just, I mean, everything. There was a point where I wrote the common entrance and the first school examination, going to secondary school. And when I actually passed to go to the secondary school, Mama Jane made a statement to me. She said, if Dickson could pass the first school and the common entrance, then it means no child has the right to fail.
Everybody else.
I went into the secondary school. I went into the secondary school with that determination that I wanted to prove Mama wrong. I wanted to show her that no, I wasn't that dull like maybe she thinks. So everything I was doing then was I was just doing it to let her know that she had a wrong view of me. So when I went into the secondary school, I studied very, very hard. I report cards to her. Sometimes later, she will tell me it's but normal for you to pass. Maybe if I'm contemplating if other children will fail, I won't contemplate of you. So, I mean, those were the kind of things that she boosted me. She encouraged me. There was a day she again called me. I've forgotten what I did actually. She called me and she told me that, Dickson, I said, yes, Mama. She said, every mother would love to have you like a son. That was that was one of the days. That statement, it remains fresh in my mind like she said it yesterday. She has actually inspired me. And then as time went on, I saw that Mama entrusted a lot in my hands because right back then we had the poultry farms, though not as big as the ones we have now. We had the piggery farm and so on. She would say, okay, Dickson, this is what I want you to do. Take the other children, go to the piggery farm, feed the pigs, or maybe mix feed for the pigs, remove manure, and then that's fine. That's all she has said. With time, she does that, and then if it is not carried out well, she holds me responsible. Now, if it is done well, she will as well praise we, the children, that we have done a great job. So I think those are some of the instances where I really had a turning point in my life like a young boy to become who I am today. She was our hero. She was our own Mother Teresa of Cameroon. She has touched lives. She has touched my life in a way that there is nothing I can do on this earth that I'll be able to repay her. I mean, just even a dime of what she has done for me. If not for her, I doubt if I would have been able to have the first school back in my village with my grandmother. But then, because of her, I was able to go to secondary school. I mean, me who was unable to pay my fees of 1,500 francs in my secondary school, I was paying fees of 73,000 francs, and they never drove me away from school. All thanks to Mama. I will forever remain grateful to her. And when some people ask why I am this committed to what I do, it's because I know what I have gone through. I know how Mama has helped me. She helped me, not that we had any relation. We didn't have any relationship. She took me in like a son, like she has taken us all of the Good Shepherd Orphanage, like her own children. She treats us more than her own children. There is never discrimination among us. So, what, even in her absence, we want all of this to continue. We want her legacy to continue. And that is why we will continue putting the good footing she has taught us in practice. So that wherever she may be, she'll be looking down on us and smiling that her life on earth wasn't a waste, but rather she impacted lives so that we should also be able to impact life. Okay, imagine the 136 of us who are currently at the Good Shepherd home. Imagine that we all try when we become some people in future. We try to also touch other lives. We try to touch other lives of other children, vulnerable children who are back there in the streets, who are unable to go to school, who are unable to have shelter, who are unable to do any of these things. Imagine just those of us from the home here, we are able to do that. Let me not just go far. Say each of us, the 36 of us, we decide to impact 5 lives each. 5 lives each. And then those 5 lives each that we have decided to impact in future decides to impact other 5 lives to change the way the community reasons. Because some people they think that to become an orphan, it means you should be very, very miserable. No. Some orphans, even back at their home, they are not doing well like Mama Jane has actually brought us up. She gave us nothing but the best. We forever cherish that. I know I can talk for a very long time. Yes.
I would really love you to talk because honestly, I remember when I spoke to Sister Jane and I was asking her, what would it take for someone to adopt a child in your home? And her response to me was, no, Esther, I wouldn't really want to do that because I love those children so much. It would be so painful for me to let any of them go. Like the attachment that Sister Jen had with you guys is what I'm getting now from you. Seeing you through school, Dickson, and impacting in you this passion for being there to help other children to a level where they will be able to also stand and uplift others and eventually in your lives imitate what Sister Jane did. I am so happy to hear this coming from you, Dickson, and I can see why you have remained passionate with that home where you are. I am grateful that there are people like you that can speak these things out. Now, as a young adult, Dickson, I want you to talk a little bit about the things that you have been doing together with other your peers and other people in that home to uplift the name of this place.
Thank you so much, Mother. Just like you have said, after my college, I have been trying as much as possible with my mother, Mama Jane of blessed memory, with my other brothers and sisters of the home, to see that our dream for this home be able to have self-sustainable projects. I mean, projects that will be able to sustain the home, just like you have been asking of our challenges. We had a lot and a lot of challenges when Mama was alive. And now that she is no more, the challenges grow as days go by. Now, the general challenges we have in this home, the first challenge is the education of the children. Why do I say education of the children? We are looking at the home to exist to the foreseeable future, which means that for us to be able to take this home to another level, we need to educate the children who are growing up in this home. We
Right.
need to be able to educate the children so that when they leave and wheresoever they are, they can stand in public and talk about the home to others. Because there are some people who have just always been hearing of orphanages, 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 but have never been to one. They don't know how this home operate. If not because of my education I have today, I will not be today on Esther's space talking about the Good Shepherd home. So the education is one of our greatest challenge we face at home here, both to the children who are in the primary, secondary, and even the universities. We face this challenge when it's getting close to September, when all the children need to be going back to school. It's really difficult on us, even when Mama was alive. Though when she was alive, she knew that she could borrow from this place, and then pay fees when we sell our chicks from the chicken farm or pigs from the piggery farm. We'll be able to be reducing these debts gradually. But now that she's not, I don't know what we are going to do. September is coming. We don't know the fate of these children. If Mama is alive, she won't want that any of the children stays at home. the nutrition of the children. The home is growing. We didn't start with the number of children that we are in today. So the second challenge we face at home here is the nutrition of the children. Remember that this home, like I said, it began in the year 2003. And we didn't begin the home with these 136 children. We began very few of us. As days go by, the number of children increased. Just like I have said, that these children, these 136 are just those that Mama took care of them within the home. Not to talk of those who are out of the home. Now, those who are out of the home, when it's getting to September still, they will come around to see that Mama should do something to pay their fees. Mama should give them something like food, and so on. That has been a great challenge to us, considering also that most of these children come to the home very, very uh, minor rich. They need also maybe say they need protein. Most of just like at first we used to have layers. That is, we had eggs. We used to have eggs from our chicken farm, but as the size of the home grew, it became very, very difficult. Those are some of the things that will go a long way to help in this malnutrition of the children. But us to be able to, and now, with their numbers, with the number of the children, they rarely will eat that much and maybe feel like when they are back in their homes, they will see. But if we have things like that, it will be able to help us nourish the children. Now, that is another challenge. We have challenges of maybe, when I talk of the challenge of education, maybe in September, I'm talking including books, school fees, and so on, not just, everything as a whole. Now, we have electricity, problems of maybe high bills and so on, just because the children will need to study in the evenings. The children will need this light to study and so on. Maybe back then in their dormitories, they need this light since they are sleeping with the babies. Very high electricity use coming to us. So those are just a few of our challenges that we face while here at home.
I was going to ask you, Dickson. I understand education and feeding or nourishment is there are key issues that you have. Now, I'm just curious to know because when I look through the pictures in your home, I noticed that you have children coming in there at the age of, like 0 years, a few months old, some a few days. I remember the last time Mother Africa was there, there was a child there that was just I think 4 or 5 days old.
Yes.
And the mom passed away and the child was brought into that home. So eventually I've noticed that there are many other children there like that, very young, real babies. So how do you, because when we talk of nutrition, we are also thinking about the different age groups and the different needs of nutrition. How do you handle situations like those real little ones and the bigger ones that now can eat even like 3 or 4 plates of food and they will still not be full? Where do you get the food from? Is it easy to get the food?
Yes, thank you very much, Mother. It is very, very difficult to get food for the children, considering that they come into the home at various age groups. For example, the babies you talked of, yes, we have babies who come maybe say a day or even. Those babies live on nan milk. We give them maybe nan one till when they are after 2 months, we change to nan two and so on. We continue giving them that milk. Now, the other ones who are a little bit grown up, we have to try as much as possible to buy them constant soya beans, granite, and so on. So it's very, very difficult because all of those things are very, very expensive. Just a container of nan milk it's around 4,000 francs, which may be if we have like 3 babies who are living solely on nan milk, that will last just for 2 or 3 days. So it's very, very difficult for us. Now, some of the problems still that we face at home here are water challenges. You know, with a home like this one, where we have mostly babies, we have plenty laundry done for these children. We cannot do that without water. We have cooking to be done for these children. We cannot do that without water still. So water, good drinking water is very essential for these children. Now, some people may be tempted to ask, maybe we have been living all this while. How is it that we have been surviving that up to now? I'm mentioning water. We actually have had a water source, but which is, it has rust in it. So we use that water source for our animals. Not that we don't use it. We use it for the animals, and the children go to the stream to fetch drinking water, which that is one of the challenges that if we could at this point in time at home here have a source of drinking water, good drinking water, it will help us a lot and a lot. Now, some of the challenges still that we have are the health facilities in the home. Every now and then, children fall sick. Over time, we have a first aid box at home, but then a child can fall sick at night. You don't know exactly what is wrong with that child. You won't just go into that first aid box to start giving drugs and so on when you know nothing, when you don't know, when you know what nothing of what is happening to the child. So health challenges is one of our main challenges still at home here. The second challenge, the next challenge, we have the problem of personal beds for the children. You go back into their dormitories, you see like 6, 7 children on one bed. That is because even though we have those beds in the dormitories that were donated by some people, we lack mattresses. We lack mattresses for the children. Now, some of the challenges still, we lack a pit latrine for the children. With the numerous children we have home here, the one we had is almost full. So, which at times it stings. So we actually really need a pit latrine for the children. Now, another challenge still is lack of productive assets. When I talk of productive assets, you see, at this level, we have these self-sustainable activities that we are carrying on. But we cannot increase its scale because we don't have those assets to facilitate us do all of those. For example, if we have a mixing machine, maybe we will not only limit ourselves to mixing feed for our pigs or for our chicks, we can even open a feed store, which will be one of the self-sustainable activities for the home, as the profit from there will come back to the home. So those, we have a lot and a lot of challenges at home here. As days go by, those challenges keep increasing.
Oh my God. I don't even know where to start.
Yes.
So you mentioned quite a handful of areas where the home, it's really in need. And some of those areas that you mentioned were education, which will include like books, writing materials, drawing materials, school fees, and all of that. You mentioned nutrition. I'm sure breakfast, lunch, dinner is built into this,
Yes.
and any thing that can help to to promote any source of food that can be flowing into the home, um, which is closely linked with the projects that you have, the piggery, the poultry, the tomato farm, and all of that. Those will fall under nutrition. So any opening in that area, I guess, can be a good source for your home. And water, I believe it's a key issue here too, because honestly, without clean water with children, that is really dangerous.
Yes.
So yeah, that is a big issue. And I believe that the health of children, especially the little ones, is tricky because I mean they are first of all delicate, and in a crowded environment with no steady health provision, it becomes a real hazard. So I can understand when you talk about that as as a challenge and a concern. And for children to be sleeping, seven of them on a bed, that is crazy. Because like here in the United States, I mean, not even a child is not even allowed to sleep on the same bed with the mom or the dad. A child has his own, I in fact in some cases his own room just for him and his own
Wow.
bed. So learning about children sleeping seven or eight of them on the same bed, and again with no mattresses and stuff like that, it's really concerning. Yeah, it is really concerning. And I I raise my cap for people like you that have been through the system, and you're still there and working hard to see that it gets improved. You know, the pit toilet, as you mentioned, that can be a health hazard too. I mean, if the pit toilet gets full and the children, as many of them as they are in that home, don't have, a clean place to go to, and that becomes a real health hazard. So, like you rightly said, that is a concern. It's a challenge for you because you definitely need that. And a production assets. Dickson, I know everywhere in the world are challenges, but I think being in an orphanage is challenging enough, not to talk of the challenges that are found inside that challenge. So it's like
Yes.
triple challenge that you guys are facing out there in the orphanage. Um, You didn't mention anything about your tomato farm. I know you used to have a tomato farm. I've also seen you. It's like you have become even a, a, um, a constructor. I mean, a bricklayer or something, because I noticed you. I actually saw you building. You have like an incomplete building. I saw you guys building, some of the children carrying blocks and giving to you. Like, it's just like everything happens where you are. And
Yes, mother.
I only wish that you could have what you need to, you know, to push it forward. Looking at a young man like you in a place like that, yeah, you've been to school. Sure, you'll be thinking about getting a career for yourself, maybe a career that will help you to improve your skills in helping out in the home. Why not in your future settle down and get married? You're a man, young man growing up, right? So,
Yes.
so key things I want you to talk to me and to the viewers of Esther Space. Your educational life, what do you envisage for it? Any prospects of going back to school? What are your plans? So let's start from there.
Okay. Maybe let me draw you a little bit back, just like you were saying. I am a young man. Some people are actually asking the question. At my age, I am still at the orphanage. What am I doing there? So I know it's a question that should be running in the minds of most of the viewers. But I just want to let you know that this is my home. Just like you all who are watching this now, you have your homes. No matter where I go to tomorrow, I'll always come back home. So I am a young man who will get married, but when I get married, I will always come back home. I dream of having a career, But my career, being at the orphanage, I'm not wasting. I have been home for a good number of years now, helping Mama out. Now, I have been helping her. Why? When we just came into the home as children, she was very active. As time went on, she wasn't that active like she used to be. The only way we could show appreciation to her is to help her in doing some of those things she used to do.
Right.
We run around, we run errands for her, a PTA meeting on behalf of the children that a parent is supposed to go. We are the ones who go to represent them and so on. So I actually have been helping around all this while. I have as a dream to follow a career for myself because I know that any career, anything I follow for myself, I'm doing it on behalf of others because once I achieve, I'll be able to extend a helping hand to other children.
Right.
Yes. So I want to first of all use this opportunity to thank Dr. Kiwi from Kiwi Foundation, who was on the program last time and he heard of me and he actually made the gesture on seeing me through school. So I am very, very grateful. Let me use this opportunity to thank him. I want to continue with my education. At this level, I studied accounting in school, but now at home, if you ask me if I'm putting accounting into practice, I'll tell you I'm putting a whole lot other than accounting because I am actually the one managing the activities of the home as at now. Even when Mama was alive, I was the one managing the activities of the home. So I think that for me to be able to do a lot more for the home, I need to continue with my education. I need to continue further my studies so as to be empowered to impact knowledge on the others who are still growing up.
Amazing. And Dickson, if you see me smiling, it is because of the mention of the name Dr. Kiawi. Dr. Kiawi is someone that was on Esther's Space one day you were on watching the program. And after the program where we talked, he was touched with your story and he extended that scholarship to you to study in the Kerry Tech Academy, which is a virtual academy that has done so much to young people like you. I'm glad that you're mentioning that your degree was in accounting and going to Kerry Tech is just going to expand your knowledge and prepare you for whatever projects or plans you have for your future and for the home, as you have mentioned. So I will also want to take this opportunity on behalf of Dickson, on behalf of Good Shepherd Home, to thank you, Dr. Kiawi, the Kiawi Foundation, and the Kiawi Academy. It is not easy to come across people like you, Dr. Kiawi, that will earmark people like Dickson. I'm sure you must have been listening to what he's saying. You can see that Dickson is it's like fertile soil where you plant a seed and you know where that seed is going. Sister Jane, for example, planted a seed in him, and here is the seed in front of us. So, Dr. Kiawi, I want to thank you so much, and I can assure you that you did well for Dickson, and I think that Dickson, you will never disappoint Dr. Kiawi. I want you to come back one day to tell me and the viewers what Kiawi's Academy has done to your life, just as you are telling us about what Sister Jen did to your life. I want you to come out one day to tell the viewers what Kiawi Foundation and Kiawi Academy has done to you. Dr. Dickson, you also mentioned that when you grow up and you have your own way, even when you get married and you have your children, you will always remember home. You always know that this good shepherd is your home. Like everyone else has a home, this is what you call a home, and you always come back to it. I love that because not many people, Dixon, think like you. Some people, once they have it, that's it, they're gone. Before we close this up, Dixon, given a chance to speak to the public directly, what would you like to say about the life of children like you living in a home, in an orphanage, depending on no parent as such, but on the goodwill of people you've never met before? Think about the challenges you're facing. Think about your 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 aspirations, what you want to be, what those little children there could eventually become, and how the world could be a different place if only these children were well taken care of. What do you have to say? Include me in the people you are speaking to. Speak.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mom. To all the viewers of Esther Space, I just want to use again this opportunity to tell you that these children you see in the orphanages, it was never their wish to become orphans. Just like I told you in my story, most of us didn't know our parents. We didn't pray to become orphans, to grow up in these orphanages. But now, this is the situation in which we have found ourselves in. We cannot do otherwise to keep on saying, why me, why me, why me all the times. We'd rather draw you backward rather than moving forward. So at this time, we take it like an opportunity, a great opportunity for us. Because if not for me growing up in an orphanage, I wouldn't be talking to Esther Space today. All of you wouldn't be hearing my voice as you are hearing today.
Right.
So, for you all listening to me, have it in your heart that these children didn't plan to be where they are. Stretch your hand, stretch a helping hand to these children. Make the world a better place for these children so that tomorrow, if these children are becoming better people in the society, you will be proud to say, I impacted that child's life positively. Because the positive impact is what we want in the lives of these children. Not to let them out of this home, go wayward and back in the street there, increasing the number of crimes in the city. But impact a child's life, touch a child's life, so that tomorrow that child may be able to touch other lives. As you impact one life today, that child tomorrow will not impact just one life, but will be able to impact as many lives as possible. As you listen to me today, for those of you who have been doing it, I pray the good Lord richly bless you in everything you do. Not blessing only you, blessing your families, blessing everyone who is around you, guiding and protecting you. You all remain in our prayers back at the Good Shepherd Orphanage in Bamenda. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Dixon. Thank you so much for that last word. What I can say here to you is that this is just the beginning. You're going to come back here on Esther Space because there's just so much that people want to do through you. Now, one thing I will not let you go without doing is to tell the viewers how they can reach you, because there will definitely be people that will want to know more about how it works, maybe how they can step in. Maybe there may be people that just have clothing that they can send to your orphanage for those little children and even the bigger girls. I didn't even touch the area of girls, because girls is another whole ball game.
Yes.
When a girl gets to a certain time in her life, the story changes. So that's why I'm telling you that you have just started coming to Esther Space. You're going to come back again to answer more questions and throw more light. We want to know about the girls, how they cope. Because there's a time in a girl's life where she really needs to be alone. Now, when it happens in a place like that, in a crowded place like that, how do they handle it? And a lot of other things that we are not going to touch now until you get back here. But I know that there will be people, because there are always goodwill people out there, that feel touched. Learning about children sleeping 7 or 8 on a bed, because of bed scarcity, or sleeping on bare wood because of mattress scarcity, or going hungry because of cereal in the morning for breakfast, or milk for little babies of 1 to 2 weeks old. I mean, I know, and I'm not doubting it. There are people out there that are very touched with issues like this one. And if any of them is out there, I would like for you to share your number, your contact. How do people get to you? Because such people want to know more and see how they can get it, how they can step in to do one thing or the other. So I want you to carefully tell the audience, if somebody was interested in getting to you, how would the person reach you, or any official in your home? What is the best way to reach out?
Directly, if anybody wants to stretch a helping hand to us at the home here who is watching from Esther Space, if you get to Esther Space directly, you'll get to us. Or if you want to get to me directly, my name is on the screen there, Ndomenga Dickson. That is my Facebook name. And if you want to get me on telephone number, you can contact 678 16 68 78.
Can you
That
say
is
it
my
again, Dickson?
Ndomenga Dickson.
Okay.
Yes.
And your number again?
My number again, 678 16 68 78. You'll get to me directly on phone.
Okay. And what about, do you have like a number, a general number for the home, and then an email?
Yeah, no, we don't have a general number for the home, but I can give the contact number of Sister Mary Lawrence, which if you get to her, it's equal to getting to me.
Okay, good. All right. So then that's fine. And then the email. Can you
Yes.
echo the email?
Again, there is no email generally for the home, but they can get to me again on email through Dickson.ndomenga@gmail.com.
Wonderful. And this again just comes to put more light on the fact that the role that you play in this home is inevitable. The role you play in the home where you are is inevitable. And for people like Dr. Kiawi to spotlight you and to give you an opportunity to advance your education and consequently get a better career that can help you improve the home and maybe other homes where around you, is something that I cannot stress on enough. I want to end this by thanking Dr. Kiawi once again for the wonderful opportunity that he has stretched out to someone like you that I can see that really, really needs it. And um, I don't know. I see you want to say something.
Yes, I want to. My last words to Dr. Kiawi. Doctor, I'm very, very grateful. Know that you are not doing this to me as an individual, you are doing this to the community because whatever I learn will be brought back to see that the lives of everyone in the community here should be touched. I am very, very grateful. Words cannot thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Kelly, I can't stress this any further. That's what it is. You are hearing it from him. Grateful and thankful for the opportunity that you are giving him through your foundation and through your academy. I want to thank you so much. And I also want to thank you, dear viewers, for being patient to listen to this legend, representing a legend here. Uh, and hopefully we're going to have him back here in the nearest future. Dickson, I want to thank you so much for your time and for going through everything you've been through today, struggling to connect and, hiding yourself in one corner of the orphanage to speak with me on Esther Space. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure. I would like to be on Esther Space at any time you call and it's possible. I'll be there.
Again and again. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dear viewers, I will see you again, same time next week, 12:30 p.m. on Saturday. Okay.